Hey guys, Lucas here. Thanks for tuning back in my channel. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the MARUI Big Bear police truck that I'm doing. Now, if you remember, this is the second stage of this one. So basically, I had to figure out how I want to paint the Big Bear truck into a police truck. So I saw this little car online. This is just a little cheap, new, bright, little RC car, and 1/14 scale. And it had a little light on it like this. I'm going to talk to you about that in just a second. So I needed to look online and find a light kit for a Big Bear. There is none, obviously, you know. So I was like, well, what can I do? I need something about the scale size. They do have on eBay, you can find the light kits, police light kits for RC cars, but those are typically for 1/10 scale and 1/8 scale. They're just way too big for this small truck. This truck's only 1/12 scale. So what I did was I found this RC car. It's typically what I was going with anyways on style. So I saw it on eBay and I was like, you know what, that's not bad. And it had the little light bar on top. Nothing in it, just a plain little light bar. There was no lights or anything in it. That's what we're going to start talking about, this guy right here. So to jump to the next topic, this is a pumpkin candle light. And so there's 3 little LEDs that flash with 2 AA batteries when you do it. Now, I seen this at Walmart flashing, and it had the red and the yellow and the blue, I believe. Yeah, blue light. Duh. So I was like, okay, I could definitely use 2 of those lights. The yellow one I don't really need so much, but I got it saved for another thing. So it was $1.99 for this guy. Now, if I couldn't make it work, then I was out $1.99, but not really so much, as I could always use the AA battery holder for something. So I was like, let's give it a try. So I couldn't find a working light kit, so I had to make my own. I found that, let's move you out of the way. I found that this light was about the size of the roll bar that I sort of needed. I would like to have it a little bit wider, but it's okay. Not bad. I don't want it this long. So what I had to do was inside this pumpkin thing, light, plastic light, LED, there's a little data board right here. It's real small. There it is. It's real little. That is the brains for the LEDs to flash. But the LEDs are attached to this guy. They're not separated. They're attached to the board itself. I had to be really smart with this and take my time, because they're just attached to the board like that. So on the back side, I located where they're attached to. I heated my solder iron and pulled the LEDs out, each one. Then after I did that, then I had to run long leads of wire, which I did. So once I did that, then I was like, well, so I can run those. I know that they use 3 volts, 1.5 volts each. And I know that the receiver uses a 3 volt. You could use anything 3 volts in each in an extra channel slot. So I was like, okay, let's give that a shot. So I shouldn't worry about the lights blowing out once they're tapped into the receiver. And I'll show you how that works in a second. So how did I have to do it? So this guy, this little light bar, it's just a plain little plastic painted light bar, plastic basically. And it had 2 little prongs. I seen it when I looked on eBay for this. Now if you're doing a project like this, you definitely just want to go, say, RC police car or something like that. And I'll give you a whole bunch of listings to go through. And I noticed this one was about what I wanted. So then what I did was I used hot glue and put the lights inside after I put the leads on it. And I put the blue on one side and then the little red one on the next. And I used hot glue and pressed it right. Underneath there I had to find a little piece of metal. I had some little aluminum stock, and I cut it in about the same width. Just took my measurements, cut it, and then just put some holes in it, and then put that into here, just like that. Once I measured it, then I just drilled some holes in the roll bar and then just put some screws and attached it. And the height is perfect and everything like that, so I really like that. So when I'm doing this, I'm constantly checking the lights and make sure they're working, because I want to know once I seal this deal here, it's going to work. So then once I did that, I had to make sure I took my time, make sure everything's nice and clean. So I got all my wires spread out, and I can follow everything where everything's going. So take your time when you're doing something like this. That way you don't short nothing out, because you can short these little boards, and then you're messed up. So let's see what it's like once it's all said and done with. And what I'm doing is putting the on and off switch on now, and there it is. So really not hard to do, just takes a little time and a little patience in order to get something like this accomplished and done right. So put lights in a light bar that never was a real light bar to begin with. It was not functioning. You might be able to actually find light bars on RC cars that are smaller scaled on eBay. I just couldn't locate any, so I had to make my own. So, but if you're ever looking for something like that, now you know you can actually take one of these apart, use the LEDs, use the data board out of it that makes them flash, and voila. I will have to make a little on and off switch for this, but I'm not worried too bad. Now, what does the police truck look like with the light bar and everything like that? Because typically there's these, Mickey Mouse ear lights. So let's turn around. I got the guy in there all painted and everything like that. Look at him. He looks like a little policeman. He needs a donut break. All right, so right here, look at how nice that turned out. That looks legit, guys. All right, so now we got that. Let's put our light bar on. So one of my wires came off. There we go. There we go. Sorry. I got all these little wires and stuff. I gotta make sure I put them on and nice tight. I just have everything not tight so I can actually adjust everything. So there it is. And I'll run my little wires and everything inside the poles of the light bar. Looks really good. I'm happy with it. Oh, he fell out. So, in the finishing stages of this guy. But the guy's head, you're probably wondering, where do you get the guy's head? Because, that's actually a Subaru Brat head that I modified a little bit to make it smaller. I know you remember me talking about him in the previous videos. His head is too big. It's okay. It's okay. So I sanded his head down a little bit and just painted it. He's fine. So, you wanted to, if you're doing a black truck, make sure your interior is lighter than the body. I think it turned out pretty cool. Okay, so that's a nice little project that turned out nice. And then I'm going to talk to you real quick about something else that I've never talked to you guys about. And that is the Proline wheels. These guys. This is the MARUI Big Bear aftermarket kind of accessory you could use. It doesn't come with the back. They come with these fronts. They're vintage. They're not out there anymore as far as you can buy them, like in a store or nothing. So you have to go on eBay to hunt them down. I do have the item number for these beautiful chrome covers. It's 129394769. That's 129394769. It's called Chrome Set MARUI Big Bear Wheels Proline. So there you go on that. And I still got to bring out the. I got to do a driving review on the police truck by MARUI Big Bear, and then I'm gonna show you the finished stage on the Christine truck. And obviously I got another project here, and that's another Lancia. Anyhow, that's my video for today. And if you like it, please hit a like, and I'd love for you guys to subscribe. Got a whole lot of cool stuff coming up, guys. See you on the next one. Oh, happy Halloween.